Afternoon, everyone. I hope you're well. I hope you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Obviously, smash the like button. Let's get this to the top of YouTube so we can avoid all the crappy accounts that will be talking about how their shit coins are going to pump or whatever or dump. I don't know. Or Binance FUD. Oh, God. Whatever is happening is happening. It's mental. This week's a bit mad, anyways. You can see on the screen, I don't have to highlight it. If you've been following my content, I covered this yesterday. That is a rather chaotic week. So it could be fun. Right before Christmas time. Potential Santa rally could be inbound here. If the data is good, I would like that myself just because it's fun and also it gives us opportunity to do stuff. But let me explain a few things before we crack on in terms of the data and the information. Now, the biggest thing in terms of inflation number is the consensus and the forecast. They actually are expecting it to be quite low, which is pretty interesting. So in terms of the data that comes out, even though the previous was 7.7, that's a bold claim. Bold consensus mechanism that I don't know what the numbers are for what they try and figure out for a forecast. However, that being said, even if we got a 7.6, even though it's lower than the previous kind of actual number, it would come in as a miss really in the forecast. So there's another variable to add into this one. So we'll see how it goes because, you know, if this comes in higher than 7.7, oh, dear me. And then tomorrow, bear in mind, if you're not following, tomorrow we've got the rate hike decision. So whatever happens in terms of the information, that they probably know that now anyways, will be the basis of the decision tomorrow. Is it going to be 50 base points? More than likely at the moment. And then we've got the obvious, will it be 75? Which I find unlikely unless the data is shocking. But the reality of it is we've got to look at, you know, it just depends on how you want to look at it. You know, there's so much information here that we need to look at. And yeah, it's a bit chaotic really. But it is coming down slowly. But it's still high. It's still 7.7. It's still at levels of like when, you know, January sort of levels realistically of last year. Not great. God, the chat is a little bit lively. Feel free to smash the like button. There's only 25 likes. Come on, boys and girls. But I'm glad you can hear me all right. I'm on a better microphone nowadays, so I'm not like looking through it. My camera setup's totally different. I've not got my camera on today for obvious reasons. God, it's fucking freezing and I'm in a massive onesie hoodie, which is great fun. Who's accumulating soul? Ooh. Nah. I think there's too much. What's the word? Fuckery involved in that one at the minute to kind of make a decent decision. Even though ages ago I was like, I'll buy Sol at $15 or whatever. But the fact that what came out with FTX is kind of a bit of a big alarm bell. So I don't really want to just jump into that just in case it goes belly up. But we'll see how things go. Another metric number. The one that's often overlooked is the core. This is, in my opinion, the most obvious and the best one to look at. You can see here the consensus again, 6.1. This is the one that you kind of want to go down, but we'll see how it does go down or if it does go down. If that remains the same, may not be great, but we'll see how things go. Either way, inflation is great. Don't you have heating in your place? Yep. It's bloody expensive though. My smart meter was £7 yesterday. Jesus, 7 times 30 is a lot of money per month going out for heating. It's crazy when you think about it. Mental numbers. How about Matic? Matic, in my opinion, is overvalued. I think we needed to drop quite a bit before I started looking at buying it. Afternoon, Alice. You big ball bag. Oi. 10 minutes till showdown. Let's have a look at the charts. Let's see if anything's popping up on the old landscape kind of randomly viewy. We will go down to the Martini timeframes, which you all know is lovely. Oh, hello. Dollar's dying already. Lovely. Oh, shit, mate. Crypto's pumping. We're going to the moon. Santa's here, boys and girls. We're off to the races. Send it. Let's go. But no, there's going to be volatility. I've totally went, you know what, trading, nah, I'm not even going to look at the charts this week. I'm just going to see what's going to happen. But I think it will be pretty volatile over the next few days, anyways, due to the obvious. It's a big amount of data coming out, and it's also the last few days of the year. Sorry, the yearly candle will be the first bearish engulfing candle that Bitcoin has ever printed. That's a big sign. Interesting, I know. So we'll see how things go there. That won't be fun. What are your thoughts on Gala? Yeah. I'm not really a keen fan of metaversey sort of stuff. Personally, I find it pointless, realistically. But that's my opinion. I think it's too early. £7 a day. My electric bill's 10 to 15 USD a month. Yep. Mate, Europe's fucked. Honestly, everyone's like, "Oh God, you're so bearish. Why are you thinking about this sort of stuff when, like, you know, crypto doesn't matter?" Well, in Europe and a lot of, like, especially in the UK, like, we haven't got. Well, I have. I mean, I'm quite happy, but the average retail investor has other priorities, which is basically either feed themselves, and prices are quite high in the UK anyways for food, versus heating the houses. It's mental. It really is. It's mad, and it's a different dynamic because, you know, people, you know, it's going to be a struggle, and obviously Christmas added into that. So yeah, it's quite expensive. It is very expensive. Just depends how you manage your cash flow, really. But yeah, 6 to 7 quid a day at the minute if you're heating your house, especially my house. It's only me in this house as well. It's crazy. Oh, and the dog. I'll blame the dog for it. I want more mover and glimmer. Have you worked out the cost of electric per cup of tea? I only have 1 cup of tea a day. I'm not really a big tea drinker. I have 2 coffees and 1 cup of tea a day, and that's me. Happy days. What is the price? That's a good question, actually. How is Moon River doing? Whoa. Wow. The emissions are just killing it. I think the scariest thing with, like, projects like this, right? And I've said it loads of times, the emissions of the crowd loans are like, they kind of make it look really bad, but when the ecosystem fully gets kitted out, and I was reading a tweet about Polkadot, like, because everyone's like, oh, the fees on Polkadot, they're not making much money. But reality is, Polkadot has only realistically been, like, operational for like 9 months, give or take, when you think about the crowd loans and the XCM sort of capabilities and stuff like that. And same with KSM. You know, a lot of people probably fail to look back at these, and they may just pop off like a rocket. So it's worth keeping an eye on. Boom. So, what are people thinking in terms of not crowd, fucking hell, CPI? What are we thinking? Feel free to throw a number. I've seen someone say 6.9. 6.9 would be absolutely mental and probably impossible. I don't think it'll go down that much. Black Friday, I don't think the data was great on Black Friday for a lot of retailers. Some of it was good, some of it was quite bad. So we'll see what's happened there as well. Obviously, there was a much bigger run up this year. It felt like a lot of offers were on a lot earlier as well. So we'll see how it goes. My alts are dying. I should have bought BT. Yeah, well, that's another thing that could be quite crazy. The old BTC kind of metric. But no, it's a bit chaotic at the minute. Let me know if I'm buffering as well, because there is, like, weirdly a lot of warnings about stream sort of, well, healthiness essentially, which is a bit stupid. It seems to be running fine on my end. But hey ho. Oh god. 7.5, 7.5, 7.4, 7.3. To be fair, I want volatility. I genuinely want volatility. I just want something to pop off. I want it to be quite neat and tidy. I want some moves in the market that's going to make things pretty good and pretty fun. Other than that, yeah, we'll see how it goes. What's the market doing now? Let's have a little look. So Bitcoin has went up to a certain point and just pull right back down. We'll see how things go. Why is Nia so weak? It's because it's been caught up in the FTX drama. There's a lot of people selling out of their VC positions due to the fact of potential liquidations and bankruptcies over the last few weeks. So that's one reason. Martini guy. Has he released his education platform yet, or is that just like one big massive fuck around? Because he's been building a multi-million-pound free educational service. It's been in the works for about 2 years, and it's not even out yet. I mean, really? He's spending millions on it. He should have some staff. Fuck's sake. Some of these questions are brilliant. Martini guy can't educate shit. No, you got a point there, to be fair. Christ. The biggest educational statement he said on Twitter was, "You should get a loan and get Bitcoin on Celsius." How did that work out? Okay, not good. Dollar's recovering a little bit. I say recovering, it's on a 3-minute time frame, so take that with a massive pinch of salt. And I can't wait for all the people to delete their Twitter accounts when Bitcoin doesn't reach 100k this year, which I think Mike just said that. Everyone's like, oh, 100k, I'll eat my hat, or eat my bollocks, or eat my testicles, or delete my Twitter or something. Crazy. Bearish divergence on BTC on all different time frames. Yep. It feels like a Santa rally's coming. It feels like we're going to go to like 20k over the next few days or few weeks, and then it'll probably be, if it doesn't sustain, it'll be the next leg down. That's my personal thoughts. I've been thinking that for a while. I will show you later what my charting looks like, but once we see if there's any sort of reaction to this, because when we look at BTC, it's like, hold on, I'll zoom out a bit. If I can't really zoom out very fast. I'll wait a minute. Actually, no, I'll tell you what, fuck it. If you zoom out enough on BTC, I think we're going to go up here somewhere. And then we're going to it probably won't sustain, because this is going to be a monster level of resistance. You've got to look at the obvious. This is going to be huge, like 18k is going to be massive. So if it breaks above that a little bit into the 20k level, which I think is a 618786 level on the fib off this retracement, because we haven't I don't think we've retraced this enough yet. It's a bit shit, realistically, when you think about it. So when we're thinking about BTC, I know this doesn't look great if you're looking at this on like a smartphone, but you know, we've got to bounce at some point. And yeah, we're starting to kick on a little bit. This is why I think Santa Rally into this region, it's like, bears. But we'll see, because the news is shit. We've got arrests left, right, and centre. We've got shit going on with Binance. We've got liquidity problems across the board. We've got VC firms going belly up. It's like, oh, great, lovely, thank you. You know, the narrative is very clear for more shitty kind of price action, but we need that for a bottom. And I've said this before. I said this last night on my Patreon. You need shit news to form a bottom. You need it to drop enough and then bounce. And then that's usually the catalyst. It doesn't just like turn overnight. Dear me, what is happening here? Hold on, bear with me. So the dollar's melting again. That's melting massively. Data will be out they know what the data is now, because that's just melted. The S&P and the Nasdaq are flying. So we'll see. I'm gonna bet my bottom dollar that this website's gonna crash. This website will probably crash like it did last time. So if anyone's got the minerals to go and have a look on Twitter, crack on and tell us. UK release CPI is in 1 minute. You guys have any money on Binance? I do actually, yes. Not much though. Enough to give me some orders, hopefully. Pound is pumping. Dollar is weak. Yep, looked like it in terms of that that chart is look. Oh fuck me. Oh god. Oh hello. Here we go. Off we go into the races. Come on, let's go. Make some monies somewhere. People are just taking the piss now. Look at the numbers coming in on the chart. I'm going to guess that this website's crashed. It did last time when I did it. Oh no, there we go. Still live, but we've not updated yet. 7.1 is a consensus. Wow. That is a really good number. They're actually getting on top of inflation. That's scary to think how quick. Well, I wouldn't say how quickly. It's still 7.1. It's still high. But that's mental when you think about it in terms of the speed that it's finally turning around. So it probably will mean that'll be 50 base points tomorrow in terms of the interest rate hike, which is fair enough. But let's have a look. Market. Oh, hello. BTC. Oh, went right up to 18k levels. Dollar's looking, well, I'll say it's weak. It's not, still 104. The yields are flying down on the government bonds on 10 years. And then obviously we need to wait and see what happens on the opening on these bad boys. This could be volatile the next like few hours essentially. But yeah, Bitcoin finally doing something nice. I say nice. If you're a bear, you're fucked. But this is why I say always buy key levels, always have exposure to the market, because now if the altcoins do well over the next few days, in terms of the next few weeks, you've got something to play with. Potentially if you've been buying these low levels, these key levels, which is what, you know, a lot of people have been buying some certain key levels. And obviously if you want to, or if you do believe there's an extra leg down, nothing wrong with selling a partial bit of your cryptocurrency bags to then rebuy low if we do get another leg down. Because this is just data, realistically. Like, we're just pumping off this. But remember, cryptocurrency has got a lot more issues than inflation right now. What is a call looking like? That's a good point. Have we crashed? No, it's just not updated yet. We all know the data anyways. It's all good. So yeah, really, really good result actually, to be fair. I was expecting it to come down lower, but I wasn't expecting 7.1, which is huge. And obviously you can see the market is reacting in a way of, well, definitely interest. If we go on, let me just zoom out a little bit more. You can kind of see how crazy like these two have definitely gone. Always good. But the thing is though, like if Christmas is crap this year and earnings season's crap, we could still find that the stock market could crumble. You know, we've got to look at that as well. You know, as much as getting on top of inflation is great, the element is still not immune to, like, obviously what could happen with the stock market prices as well, and obviously crypto as well involved in that. So positive at the minute, but could all change in the next few months. Yeah, people are right though on the chat. Normally a fake out, and then obviously once it starts sweeping it up, it'll do its moves. We've had that a few times. We call them, oh well, me and Gaz are calling them power candles because literally what's happening is they're just like, it's, you look back through time and you see all these massive jolts in price action from the range, and then it goes to a certain point and it just continues its journey. And you got to look at the bigger picture. The S&P and the Nasdaq are in massive downtrends on the weekly time frame. Same with Bitcoin, same with a lot of cryptocurrencies. They're still in massive monstrous downtrends. So this is why I'm saying if you're buying the key levels and you're selling a little bit on the top side, it's pretty good to kind of have that factor in. You know, a lot of people hold us to death, but sometimes if you can like pull out a little bit of money at a high, it'll be quite nice. BTC dominance of stable currency dominance, sorry, is dropping quite nicely. You can see that on the right hand side. Ooh, hello. 18k retest for Bitcoin. Well, that's a good start of the day. Happy days. Have we got an update on here yet? Yeah, 6%. Pretty impressive, to be fair. Still high though. Still not great. When you compare where it used to be, it's still high. So we're not out of the woods yet. Definitely not out of the woods yet, but at the same time though, it's showing that something is working. However, I won't see a pivot just yet. A pivot's quite a while away, I think. I think mid next year we'll see a proper pivot. Are Bitcoin mining stocks a good look? No, definitely not. No. I don't see why you'd want to buy Bitcoin mining stocks personally. That was years ago. I think it's too much of a cost problem now, and I think a lot of people will be jumping out of BTC mining and letting the big companies run it. I think it's too much of an expensive element. I can't wait for all the open thumbnails on Twitter now and YouTube. Absolute clout. Is it possible to go short on Qcoin without using it? Yes, sell it into stable currency, then rebuy back low. That's the only way you can do it. You're not even shorting it. Going short is dangerous anyways. I'm good at shorting when it's high. The prices are high. I'm great at that. But when it's down here, I hate it because you never know what you're gonna get. You're gonna short the bottom at some point. This is why short squeezes happen and they're very volatile and they absolutely rinse people. It's horrible. So you got to be very, very careful with shorting. That's why if you wait for a significant bounce and like a Santa rally, you can unload a bit better at a much better place and its probability is much higher. But if you wanted to like reaccumulate units and like rebuy low, just sell at resistance and rebuy back at support is the only metric you can use. It's the easiest way of doing it. But yeah, I use leverage just 2-3x just to like add a little bit to it, and also like that's it. Simple, really. You can't really go. Whoa, Jesus! Look at that volatility candle. Mental. I just don't get why people go onto like leverage platforms and do like a 50x and like brag about it. It's like, oh great, look at this, but 50x is nothing. Like, let's be fair. It's like it makes it look good because you're moving the market a little bit with that leverage, but yeah, you spend so much more money on fees. You got to remember it's a fees times that number, so it adds up massively on high leverage too. But a little bit of leverage is nice. I mean, if you can do like a 1.5 or a 2x leverage at the lows and just ride it all the way to the top, I mean, as like kind of like spot market investing, your liquidation levels will be miles away anyway. So most people do that. That's how a lot of people got wrecked as well, by doing it at the wrong time. You need to do it at the right time as well. Thought on BNB? That's fine. I know there's a lot of Binance FUD, but it's overvalued. Personally, the token I think is overvalued. I think it will drop. It just depends on the smart chain. It depends on utility use of Binance. It depends on the monopoly of Binance with all the exchanges going shit-shaped. And they're obviously swooping and sweeping up, getting a lot of customers. But there's a lot of FUD as well at the same time. I'm sick of the FUD now. I'm bored of it. Christ. I remember last bear market, I've been FUDded. This feels a lot worse. A lot worse. But we'll see. So if you don't understand leverage, the simplest way to explain it is, yeah, because in that question you really don't understand it. You are only playing with the amount of the margin that you're putting in. So if you've got an account with $500, right, and you've got, let's just say you want to risk, I don't know, 20% of that account or whatever, and you're going to put $100 on a trade. If you put it on a times 3, that is basically you're risking $100, but you got $300. You will lose $100 if you get liquidated, the full amount that you put on that trade. You're not in debt by putting in extra money. It's just the multiple of the percentages of the liquidation will mean you'll lose your entire position, which is only $100. So when we talk about these people on like 50x, if the market moves against you 2%, you will get liquidated, and that's why you lose it. So you're only risking and losing what you are putting on as a margin, which is fine, but it's because people don't understand it and how it goes wrong, which is kind of why you've asked that question, which is a good question to be fair, but it depends on what you risk. So anything that you put on is fair game. Like a lot of people I know don't use stop losses in leverage because the liquidation will do it for you. So it's up to you. But yeah, 3x move, you'll get liquidated, as Mike just says, with 30%. And yeah, 50x, 100x. This is why I laugh at people who like brag about 100x moves and stuff. I'm like, fuck off, lunatic. No one cares. Like, oh wow, the market's moved 0.3%. Wow, who cares? No one cares. But yeah, this is why people get wrecked. The liquidations and the problems with crypto is, yeah, it's very normal now. Like leverage is like stock market brokers The foreign exchange market, they all have leverage, but they don't move nowhere near as much as crypto. If I was like an exchange, I would add like probably 5x would be the most I'd probably use because you don't need it. You don't need it. Let's be fair. Wow, look at the Nasdaq. Whoa, it's that far. I need to do this. That's a big move. It's a big recovery. The Nasdaq was lagging a little bit, to be fair. But the thing with leverage, right? You don't make more money by using leverage or more leverage. You make more money by winning consecutively and making sure your risk management is on point. Because if you're on like a 5x, it doesn't mean you're going to make 5 times more money. It just means you got 5 times potential in terms of multiples if you're in profit. Because it doesn't mean that you got that money to play with because there's all those fees involved. It's mad when you think about it. Yeah, I know I'm looking at delayed charts. It's because of the way TradingView works. It's not ideal. We go on to Seeking Alpha. There you go. It's pretty nice, pretty tidy. Give me a Santa Rally. Come on. I want one. Casper. Yeah, I can't be bothered changing my charts. I might change them later for the next live stream. But hey ho, we're all good. But the thing is, right, as much as I'm saying Santa Rally, wouldn't it be really depressing, right, if the stock market does the thing and just has a nice little Santa Rally, and because crypto is like full of like FBI lawsuits and SEC lawsuits and we do nothing, that would be pretty depressing. Will altcoins get wrecked if Bitcoin continues going up? Potentially yes, with the BTC dominance. What is it doing? Oh god, hello, it is up quite a bit. Let me go to normal chat. Let me go over onto this one. So the big problem that we've got now, and it's kind of obvious, is obviously this. BTC dominance, right? So let me explain. If this carries on going up, which I want it to, let's be fair, we're still in like this bottom half range. If this goes up, the obvious will be the BTC pairs of all your altcoins will start to get slaughtered a little bit. Yeah, you're making money in USD, yeah, but it's because BTC is going on a rip riding rocket at the minute, right? It's up 4%. Now, all the assets here that are below 4% are getting hurt in the BTC pair, basically. That's how you read it. And if BTC in USD plummets, so let's just say we go up to 19, 20k, Santa Rally, yes, let's get excited, boys and girls. And then we do the leg down, which is definitely possible. So if I look at that, oh god, what are we on? There we go. So when we're looking at these kind of levels here, so let's just say we're retesting the 382 finally, fucking hell. And then these levels up here with these levels of resistance, if we do go up here even higher and then we melt and we continue going down, which is, let's be fair, a big downtrend still, your altcoins will hurt a lot in USD because they've already lost in the BTC pair, which will be a problem. So you'll probably see double-digit losses if that does happen. Depends how bad it is. So we'll see how things go. Could be fun. But yeah. So just need to be careful with the BTC dominance a little bit. It's up a bit, fair play, but it's still quite low in my opinion, still at the bottom of this level. I would love it if it carried on going up. It'd be great fun. But we'll see. Oh, we nearly got 100 likes on here. Come on, give me some likes. Come on. Get me to the top of the leaderboards. Unless you want to watch Martini Guy and what's his face for the next 10 years of your life. But yeah, with BTC dominance, it's a bit of a risky one at the minute. It's like, it's not enough to get kind of worried about it, but it's there to kind of make you think otherwise. So if it started going over 42 or 43%, it'll get interesting to see how altcoins react. A lot of altcoins, they're not looking great. Well, look at Polkadot would be a good example here. It's only up 1.3%, or 1.9, sorry, percent, versus obviously what BTC is. So that will be down quite a lot in the BTC pair, which I will show you. That isn't dot. Why did I put pod? I just can't write today, clearly. So as you can see, this is going down a little bit. Not down by much, but it's still enough to kind of notice that it is actually going down. If I go onto the 6-hour time frame, you will start to see it's going down. So this is one way of reading it in a simple term. But yeah, we'll see. 1 million likes. Come, I'm only joking. Actually, I can't see the likes. I can only see one now because you've went over the thing. Martini guy's been quiet for the next. Oh, he's probably been captured. He's obviously went to the spa one day and someone's captured him. Imagine that. Hello. That looks quite nice value. Down here would be nice. See how things go. All the liquidity is setting at 17k right now. There'll be a lot of trap longs and a lot. Oh, no, sorry. Let me rephrase that. There will be a lot of trap longs if we go up here and the bulls step in, because people get excited. The open mouth dickheads will get excited and it'll start going against them. They will be definitely trap shorts down here and they will probably get liquidated very, very soon. And if they do get liquidated, we'll probably pop up a bit more. We'll see how it goes. So, but no, things are looking pretty good. Like realistically, right? When we're looking at this as well, the dominance chart at the top, you know, realistically, it's still telling you to be short, which is kind of madness when you think about it. So it's a massive thing, but this is a monster downtrend. Like we've still got a lot of wiggle room up here where we could see the bears just go, hammer. So we'll see. Where's the little hammer signal? Whee, hammer. Give me the hammer. Bosh. So we'll see what happens up here, because that could be the next leg down. But no, I definitely think there's a lot more to come. I still think there's that big, massive, shocking feeling, but I think I've said it before on my Twitter, like literally yesterday, I think 12k is too obvious. I think it's too obvious. Whether it doesn't go there or if it retests 15k again, I don't know. We'll see, because 15k is still a hell of a number versus where it has been. The reality of it is, you know, me talking about it last year, oh, we're going to go down, mentioning 12, 15, 18k levels, and people are like, oh, fuck off, man, you're so negative, so bearish. We've never been below all-time high, and we're here. We've been sat here for a while, so it's pretty gaff, really. It's just the way it is. God can look to 100k on the 31st. Imagine that. Energy, gasoline, electric, utility price are in deflation. US CPI shows, yeah. The thing is, though, like the CPI data, as much as it's like great at the minute, it might be a bit of a red herring as well. It might be one of those little false dawns that if they do change and certain things do change in like the start of the year and going into like, you know, springtime, it might stay still for ages. We might be stuck at 6% or 7% inflation rate for freaking ages, and it's still high. You know, we've got to look at that because you don't want the Fed to pivot too early in terms of going negative on interest rates. I don't think they'll go negative for a while. I think we'll be at high interest rates for a very long time, but that's my personal thoughts on it anyways. But we'll see how it goes. 3 sell orders above 30k. Whoa, imagine if it goes to 30k. The biggest bit of pain, and you know what we often, well, I say people joke about, oh, you know, like the pain of like being out of a position or, you know, the hated rally. Imagine it going to 30k and you get in. Oh, and it goes down again. That would be brutal. Could be a massive fake out. That would be pretty horrible. But there is data to tell us that there is a lot of bear market rallies, or Santa rallies essentially, in bear markets. And they usually start literally between the 14th and the 18th of December. So this might be it. Might be the start of it. If there's enough momentum, it'll happen. But it depends on what happens with the news. As I've said at the start of the stream, we've got a lot of stuff happening. SEC are now charging FTX CEO sausage fingers over here. Oh no, sorry, he's a vegan, so I can't use that term. Oh, damn it. You get the picture, right? So it depends what's happening. And I said it just before. It'll be shit if the stock market has this nice rally. It'll be, oh, great. And then cryptocurrency, because we're being bombarded with lawsuits and liquidations and bankruptcies and all kinds of bollocks, basically. It'll be shit if we don't get any of that upside. But hey ho. Come on, Santa. Pump my bags. But yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice to unstake some of my stuff and just sell it. So I might unstake some of it just in case, like even like 10%, 20%, and then I could be able to sell it into some nice positive kind of equity to leave on Binance for it to be footed and closed anyways. Jokes. Quan fingers. Forgot about that. I can't believe. I'll be honest. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's been arrested so soon. Like when you look at the history of Mt. Gox and stuff, that took a long time. But crypto was very small then, so maybe maybe he doesn't have everyone paid off in the government kind of side. But the fact that I think he's been charged by 3 different organisations now. I think the SEC, obviously the Barbados authorities, and I don't know what the other one is. Can't remember what the other one is. Forgotten. It's gone out of my head. But no, yeah, quite nice. How is this looking? Whoa, the Nasdaq, man, looking good. I wonder if the UK 100's up. I wonder if my stocks are doing all right today. Anyways, before I go, anyone got any more random ass questions before I go and vanish and disappear and cry for a minute? I'm not really going to cry. I'm quite happy today. It's all good. Kind of expected this news to happen. Is the numbers out? Yes, 7.1 is CPI with 6% core. So that number and this number. Doing good. Free SPF. Oh God, please no. We'll see what closets come out. Closets. Skeletons come out the closet with it. BTC is dropping back a little bit, but we'll see. But we are at levels of resistance here. I'd be devastated if we just went. That would suck. Suck balls massively. Binance after SPF could be ugly. Nah. The FUD on Binance is pretty baseless at the minute. It's like anything in a bear market. Like people start talking about shit, and it starts to rumble. But it'll be interesting to see if the if that Binance FUD was actually created by SPF. Could be, possibly. At what percentage do we turn bullish? You should be bullish now. Like you should be bullish at these bottoms, these key levels. You should be bullish. Not halfway through a momentum run towards resistance. You got to flip your bias upside down. I get very bullish at levels like that. It's nice. But most of retail will get bullish. Wait there. Here. When we're at like 50k, this number, people will start getting bullish, and that's where everyone will be absolutely going for it. So yeah. What other question do we got? What does it mean for Bitcoin now? It depends. Depends on external news, information, arrests. It doesn't mean anything for Bitcoin realistically at the minute because I think we've got a lot of external news to worry about, which could stop any rallies as well with fear. Why is DOT performance so bad? I don't think DOT's doing too bad, to be fair. It's doing all right. It's not doing as well as some, but Matic's not doing great today. XRP isn't doing very good today neither. If I look at my main list, you'll probably notice quite a few others are not doing great. I mean, some of them are like down a bit as well. But there's quite a few that are lagging, but there's quite a few that are doing okay. Like Sol, for example, you know, it depends. A lot of the ones that have dropped quite significantly have actually, you know, bounced quite a bit today, to be fair, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not really that worried. Never have been. Price action is just one metric. Need to look at more than price, I'm afraid, which gets a bit boring for some people. Strange he was arrested before testifying. I think there must have been enough information they've got. There's obviously been investigations ongoing behind the scenes. Thank you for the appreciation. It's nice to get recognised. I do feel like I am in like a massive hedge of like overgrown plebs. But hey ho, it is what it is. Isn't January usually a low point? Yes, it is. January and February is boring for crypto. It's boring for the stock market. Like it will slow down massively. Interest rate hike tomorrow. Yep, it is. And Mr. Powell is talking. He's doing like is saying something as well. So there's more than just an interest rate hike. So he is speaking. It probably will be the closing speech of the year, technically. Probably a reflection of the year as well. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. He may say something important or not so important, but I do believe this will be 50 rate. We'll be going to 50, I think. Which makes sense, let's be fair. Did you notice the two biggest crypto? Yes, I did. I noticed that. Gee, and me. There's a lot of people that just really uneducated about a lot of things. It reminds me of Cardano. A lot of people say the same shit about Cardano. It's like, I mean, just tell me you didn't buy it at the bottom without telling me, sort of thing, or you got wrecked somewhere. You know, it's just one of those things. Not, I mean, the same people said the same about Ethereum back in like 2016, 2015. You know, that it wasn't going to work, it was a failure. But hey. I have no idea what GMX is. I'm not really. I don't get the whole DEX narrative. I just don't get it. Like I understand it. Oh, coverage. No, sorry. Use my words right. Custody of own funds is great, right? But a DEX is not what you use for trading because it's on chain. Can you imagine how slow and how frustrated it would be trading on Ethereum on chain, paying 10 times more, waiting like 15 seconds for your fucking orders to go through, and then not knowing if you're going to sell it at the right time because you can't use a stop loss, you can't use market execution orders, you can't use limit orders. There's like so much work to be done to make that happen. There may well be, now this is the thing, if the likes of Binance or whatever exchange, there's plenty available, can incorporate a plugin where you can host your funds, you know, via a MetaMask or via Ledger or whatever, it could be great. But I don't see that happening for any time soon. But even though there is some dexes that do let you do spot trading, that is it. Like, yeah, I like the idea. It does cut out the middleman. It does cut out the bullshit and the bollocks. But reality is, we're nowhere near yet. So there's one I'm looking at. I'm looking at Pokedex. I think that's quite interesting in terms of how that's going to look. But I still think we're miles away. Like, it's crazy when you think about it. But yeah, imagine trying to trade on like some of these chains when they're very, very cloggy and blocked as well. And it's just gonna like it'd be like trading NFTs again. It'd be like, oh my god, it'd be chaos. But we'll see how it goes. But the reality is, trading as well. Technically, like you got to look at the other obvious as well. Regulation, the narrative of that is also coming around. So they're not going to go and regulate crypto and then allow decentralized DEX that technically will be away from regulation to just run riot. But we'll see how it goes. But also as well, when you're thinking about it as well, you're trading on chain. And trading on chain as well, there's still a possibility of a protocol failure. So there's so many things you can ask and just put on like a massive whiteboard of like doubt or pros and cons. Like imagine, right? You're trading on like the Solana blockchain, random, I know, and it goes wrong, and you've lost all your money. You know, might not what you think about it. Could happen. What's your takes on the likes of VeChain and Zill's fucked? Just put it in the bin. It's gone, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but I mean, they've changed the team 3 times. They've changed the narrative of what they're doing 3 times. They look absolutely underwater with, I don't know what they're doing. I genuinely don't know what they're doing. Like the price will tell you a thing as well. It's 2 cents. But the fact that they've changed that many things and components is ridiculous. But it's crazy. What do you think of Cardano? Yes, I hold Cardano. I'm a Cardano fan. I have been since 2017. I've just been buying it low, selling it high every time. It's been great. Can you explain what happened with the CPI? Yes, it was good data. It was 6 6% core and 7.1% rate. So a massive improvement. The thing is, right, when we talk about GMX and like tokens, why does it need a token? Like the big narrative for me in the bear market has always been, why do coins or why do things need tokens? Why not be a service and just avoid the token? Like I've said it before, Chainlink doesn't need a token. It genuinely, like when you look at how it works, it doesn't need one. There's loads of assets out there that don't have governance, that don't have staking mechanisms, that don't have smart contracts, but they've got a token. And you think to yourself, well, why? And an exchange is one of those as well where they don't really need one. Like apart from Binance and stuff like that, where they've got their own sidechain. But realistically, like a decentralized token, does it need one? Or a decentralized exchange, does it really need one? You probably make more money as a company by just doing the fees in a traditional way. That's my opinion, anyways. What other questions there we got? Cardano could potentially, it depends on the market obviously, but it depends on network effect. The network effect of any asset is going to be the biggest element to why an asset's going to do well. We look at Polkadot, we look at Near Protocol, we look at Cardano. You know, they're basically ready to go in reality, but there's a lot of things out there that are not, and they will build over time, but they're also hosted on those chains too. They're just three random examples. There's loads out there. When we look at like coin market cap, you got to think network effect on like smart contracts and stuff. Like Matic as well, another good example. You could probably argue if maybe Avalanche, stuff like that, like Atom, Algorand, Quant, they've all built in design for like network effect and the growth of the industry. A lot of them are not, and that's where like they'll fall down massively. But we'll see how it goes. But network effect over time, in principle, when you look at that, should grow. So a lot of things will be interesting. Force and Swissborg Series 8, no idea, not clear. Not even looked. I just use it as an on-ramp and an off-ramp. I don't really speculate in the token. I just use it to get money in and out, which is probably, in my opinion, the best in the industry, which is mad when you think about it, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? Reserve's doing all right. If you look at the metric datas, so I mean the price looks like shit, but it's not hooked up to the price yet. So I don't know how many people have done this yet, but if you go onto the RSR website and look and see what is actually happening at this bit here. Oh no, sorry, this bit. So if you have a look on here, it will tell you the data of what's actually happening in terms of like these are actual genuine people using the actual RPay platform, which is pretty good considering, right? This isn't linked to the RSR token yet. It's still RSV. It's going to change as well very, very soon. This is just the start of it. Already you got like only in 3 countries, I believe, as well. So, 15,000 transactions. It's mental when you think about it. This is only just starting. I think it's going to be in 25 countries next year, or they're aiming for 25 countries next year. When it's all hooked up and it's working with everything, it'll be pretty good. So it's a good starting point. Start slow, build it up, pretty nice. But yeah, I'll hold it. I don't hold much of it, but I like the narrative. I think that is like a really good adoption approach. It's got a good story, especially with the high inflation rates around the world. It's pretty good. Can you have a peek at Nia, please? A peek. Are we talking 3 seconds, 5 seconds? I mean, I like it a lot. I love the ecosystem. I mean, hold on, bear with me. Where is it? Let's have a look at the ecosystem. So in terms of what they're actually building on here, it's actually doing pretty well. So you can see all the accounts and Nia's growing, the transactions obviously doing well as well. And then you got obviously the Octopus app chains as well, which are growing, the Aurora ones as well. There's a lot happening on Near Protocol. Definitely growing. It's like very, very similar to Polkadot as well in terms of like the utility of it and how it works. It's It's pretty good in terms of the growth and the app chains that could be built on top of it. And they can plug in with the likes of Substrate, which is obviously Polkadot, which is pretty good. So that's handy. But yeah, I'm a big fan of, in terms of like ecosystems, I've got money in Cardano, I've got it in Near, and obviously Polkadot. I'm more than happy to, put my money in those. I think they're pretty brilliant. I think Near Protocol's a great value at the minute, in my personal opinion. I think it's pretty good. What do you think of Starling blocking crypto? Yeah, fuck him. Simple as that, really. I mean, it always happens every time bear markets come. A lot of people go, "Oh, can't let our consumers invest in crypto because they might lose money and we might get complaints." That's kind of what they're doing, which is a stupid mentality, really. A lot of banks could get, in my opinion, a head start on like consumers and getting new customers, but they're just too scared. Mental. What other questions have we got? There's so many. Thoughts on Hedra? Hedra's good. A little bit of centralization there, but it's pretty decent. It's got a decent team. But I prefer Quant Network. Versus that. If I was going to pick like an enterprisey sort of chain. Are you still into Luxor? Not particularly looked at it for a while. I like the idea of it. I think the idea of it's pretty good for the future. But right now, I'm not really looking for metaversey type elements. I mean, it kind of is a metaversey coin, isn't it? It's a currency for like that kind of world. But seems like good value. But that being said, it has been a lot lower. When we think about price action from like the summer, June it was $3.37, so it's actually been holding price pretty well. But yeah, it's decent. I just don't think it'll fill my. I don't think it tickles my pickle these days. It's a possibility. Depends on the narrative of metaverse. I'm still kind of like unsure of where that's going to go yet. I think it's too early to say. It's a risk, but it could be a very good risk at the end of the day. You just don't know. I'm not into any Cardano NFTs. Like literally, I give zero fucks about NFTs. That's my personal opinion. Like until they start getting more renowned branding and it becomes safer and they're not as bloaty or whatever on networks, yeah, I'll probably look at them. But NFTs are just like, it's just speculative art, really. I prefer ecosystems. I prefer network effect because there's always going to be a price for an NFT. It's like buying a car, it's like buying an artwork, bit of painting. You're only willing to, let's be fair here, pay what someone wants to offer you, which is the big downside to it. Xcard, what do I think? Good. I like the idea of it, but you are in bed with the biggest juggernaut in the technology world, which is YouTube, which is quite scary. I don't want them to develop something that's great and then obviously YouTube like wake up one day and then they can't use it anymore. There's stuff like that which does scare me with stuff like that. And also it's on Zilliqa, and the Zilliqa is probably not the greatest chain. I might as well go Matic, to be fair. It'd be much better in my opinion, but hey ho. What other question have I got? I've got freaking loads here. What does tickle your pickle? Yeah, Moonbeam. I'm a big fan of Moonbeam. What's my thoughts on Animal Farm? No idea what that is. Anyways, I'm going to go because I've been here for like nearly an hour, which is pretty good. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone coming out. It was good data. It was nice data for once. We've actually got some good news, and for once, good news has finally pumped the market a little bit. I say finally pumped the market. It's done enough. It's done something. It's done some bits, which is quite nice to see. But yeah, it's looking pretty good for today. We'll see how things go. The VIX has dropped massively, which is interesting. Usually that's a good indication of bottomings in a way.